The topic that I researched was discrimination based on gender and race in sports. There are many reasons as to why I chose this topic. The first being that I want to be a coach and I do not want any of my players to ever feel as though they are beneath anyone just because they are of a certain gender or race. Moreover, I have many friends who have had to deal with discrimination in different situations. I want to help them by getting this information out there so that hopefully in the near future there will be change made. The next reason is portrayed in this slide. The pay gap between women and men is unbelievable. Yes, these are all amazing athletes. However, if you look closely at the accolades that all four of these athletes have achieved, it is noticeable that the two women athletes have achieved a great deal, and it should be reflected in their pay. This slide portrays the last major reason as to why I chose this topic. These are all pictures of GMs or presidents in the NFL, NBA, and WNBA. Notice any similarities? They are all Caucasian men. There are not many minorities or women that have any leadership positions in professional sports. While completing my research, three themes became apparent. 1. Social norms carry a heavy weight in people's beliefs even today and lead to discrimination. 2. Sexism is something that women have to constantly deal with, and female athletes are still struggling to be considered equal in any sport that has a male counterpart. And 3. Changes are happening, however, it is evident that they are not at a large enough scale to be felt throughout women's sports. To conduct my research, I interviewed 4 different people. All participants either played or still are playing collegiate sports. 3 of the 4 participants were female, while 1 was male. Amongst the females, participant 1 was Caucasian, participant 2 was African American, and participant 3 was mixed, both Caucasian and African American. Participant 4 was an African American male. These participants were chosen due to their race, gender, and my relationship with them. Participants 1 through 3 were my collegiate teammates, and participant 4 was a teammate's brother. I have known them all for a long time and have been around them during situations that they have had to deal with discrimination. I wanted to receive their beliefs and what they thought. All participants described the time they were discriminated against, other than participant 1, who stated that she did not feel as though she was discriminated against. The interesting thing that I found was that the situation that each participant described was based on their race. When they were asked about discrimination based on gender, they explained that yes, it existed, but they did not really talk about that because it was normal and happened all of the time. Dealing with social norms is something that has shaped our society. Through the literature review, there are a few things that stood out the most. In one article, both African American boys and Caucasian boys were interviewed. In conclusion, it was found that African American boys believed Caucasian boys were given everything they needed to be successful, while Caucasian boys believed African American boys were just inherently better, so they were automatically good at sport. Another discovery was there was a study done on the amount of minority athletes who play NCAA sports. The results showed that the more masculine sport was, the more minority players participated. Another result showed that in professional sports, it is not the fans' perspective of racism that causes minorities to be paid less or receive more playing time. It is up to the people in charge, like the presidents and GMs, and as seen on a previous slide, they are usually Caucasian men. Sexism is something that all women have to deal with. In one article, it discusses many different instances that women have had to deal with this. One situation was a woman was told that there is no reason she needed to try out for the baseball team because she was better off in the kitchen. Another article discussed football. It was discussed that women had no place of power in this sport. They were unable to be in any position such as a GM because it is considered a man's sport. In fact, they can't even play the sport unless they wear lingerie to make it more feminine. I believe this slide speaks for itself. Lastly, it is evident that changes are being made, such as Title IX, video games including the WNBA, African American players are playing professional sports and being considered franchise players, but it is not enough to really make a dent into something like racism and sexism. For example, athletes still have to deal with comments such as these. All in all, I hope that with this research, a change can be made. The way to begin the change is to educate our society on issues such as racism and sexism.